Okay, let's talk about this. This meme. This is the FGC experience, is what it says over by my head. In the beginning, it's just LOL, I'm just hitting buttons. You don't know what you're doing. This is the beginner, right? In the middle, you have to learn every Oki, all the frame data. You must know the frame data for every move in the game. You have to know every setup. You have to know what every character's move names are, or you're not a true Genin. You got to know every move name in the game. And then you get to the highest level, the best player in the world, and they're like, I don't know, man, I'm just hitting buttons, dude. I mean, there is a lot of truth in this meme, but I want to discuss why. The middle part is where Sajam and his chat room are. Man, he's got me pegged wrong. I'm just going into matches and hitting buttons. He's got the wrong guy figured out. Have you seen me play? I'm either the guy on the left or the right, depending on the day. But it's not like you just start out and you don't know what you're doing. You're just hitting buttons, and then you go to the end and you're just hitting buttons. The reason there's this whole section in the middle, when you're learning a fighting game, you have to really get in there and dig. Now I need to improve. So I'm going to start to learn these important things. You start to learn stuff in the middle, right? You start to learn Oki, you start to learn frame data, you start to learn setups on stuff, you start to dig in and try to understand the game. As you're learning to understand all those things, you're still getting beat up by the players on the left. And you're just like, well, fuck, man. I'm trying to play fighting games the right way. I'm trying to learn frame data and learn setups, and this guy's just mashing and he's beating me. He's not thinking like I'm thinking. Please, I'm learning correct. The reason you make it to the right side and what happens in the right side is not that the person on the right forgets Oki and frame data and setups and all the other important things that the guy in the middle learned. You learn all those things and then you stop having to think about them. This guy down here, this Jedi, he has all the muscle memory. So when he gets a knockdown, he doesn't have to think, okay, if I do whiff this button and then jump that, he's just doing the jump. And as he's doing it, he's thinking like, he's woken up backdash here. I'll OS backdash. And he just does it. And he's like, all right, cool. When you're in the middle and someone does a move that's plus on block, you think, oh, that move's plus. It is in the honor code of fighting games, chapter 7, subsection 3.1.53, that after a plus move, I must respect it and block. The authority of our great frame data gods have discerned this. And the guy on the right is like, he tried to walk up throw me like 4 times. I'm just going to mash. And he just mashes and hits him. He's like, hell yeah. The person below knows that it's plus, but he also knows like, yeah, it's plus, but it's only slightly plus. And he's kind of abusing my defense here, right? So he's just like, all right, cool. I'll just walk up and hit a button. Like he doesn't have to think about these things. As important as all this is, I remember being a newer fighting game player. And when I was playing Injustice, I literally memorized the frame data for like every move. The problem is every character only did like 3 strings. So like I had 800 strings memorized. I only needed to know like 2 of them. And not only that, but who cares if they were slightly negative or slight, like the exact frame data didn't even really matter that much. I was so busy in the middle trying to use the data that I couldn't make it down here yet. You'll know the moment that you go from there to there. There's a moment that it changes, and I don't know whatever inspires that. I think one of the biggest things that will take you from this to this is understanding abstract concepts. This guy is worried about frame data and Oki and setups. This person is like, where should I stand on the screen? Which is the same problem that guy all the way over there on the left is thinking. He's like, I don't know where to stand. I'm just mashing buttons. One thing about like a lot of anime and versus games is that you really don't spend a lot of time being this guy. In those kinds of games where the game is faster and it's harder to play perfect, this kind of guy is easier to become. Yeah, Ryan, I can't tell you the frame data for like almost any move Soul has in any version of Guilty Gear. Yeah, I know 5K is 3 frames. That's about it. And it's only because people complain about it. I don't actually need to know how fast it is. They just complain about it being 3 frames. That's why I know it's 3 frames. You're the dude on the right. It's because you've made it past all the stuff in the middle. Making it past that is hard, though. It really is hard. Listen, I think one thing about fighting games is like when you first get in, you think, man, these guys are geniuses. They're savants at the game. They must be super smart. And then you follow them on Twitter and you're like, wow, they're dumb. Not a single one of them is smart at all. I can't believe it. You don't have to be smart to be good at fighting games? What the fuck?